everybody, this is Patrice Fistor-Jaehnig, and I wanted to share a couple of things that I've just realized in the last few days regarding living in the frequencies. I've been doing this work, I'm in my 18th year doing this work, and in the beginning, when I first interacted with the Reconnective Healing frequencies and had my reconnection, the shifts and changes that were happening in my life were so dramatic that I couldn't help but notice. But as time went on, I stopped really noticing, got involved in my day-to-day life, and wasn't really recognizing what it was like to be actually living in the reconnective healing frequencies and noticing the different subtle changes that were going on all along. So recently a colleague of mine suggested that we take a day or two and really recognize what we notice when we're living in the frequencies, and we see the positive benefits from that. And by doing that, we'll want to be in the frequencies more often, or maybe all the time. Anyway, some of the things that I noticed, I actually did it for about 2.5 days. And for one thing, being in the frequencies would shift me into a place of being more the observer and the observed, meaning that I would be at a level or from a standpoint of actually feeling like I was watching myself as I went through my day. So I would notice my thoughts and notice what I said and notice what I was feeling much more than I normally do. And one of the things that I did notice was that when I would start to have a negative thought or a negative train of thought, I would notice much more quickly. Like within 10 or 15 seconds, I would catch myself, and then I was able to shift that and transform that into something different. So that was something that happened numerous times, and I have to say my husband even noticed that I was catching myself and being more positive than I sometimes would be. And so that was an interesting thing that I noticed. Another thing was that I noticed that synchronicities seemed to really expand. I had multiple synchronicities. Now, maybe these were going to be happening anyway and I just wouldn't have noticed, but I think that from being in the state of mind or the state of consciousness, that I'm living in these frequencies and vibrating at that level of the frequencies, that I was maybe helping create more synchronicities. And they were just small things, like for example, I was listening to a song on the radio in my car, and I noticed that, wait a minute, I don't think these are the words to the song. I think they've changed them. And I had those thoughts go through my head and forgot about it. But the next morning, our alarm, it goes off as music. And I awoke to that exact same song with the words as I knew they were supposed to be. It was just like, what are the chances that that song would be what I would wake up to, and it would be that line that I was thinking about the day before. Just something as simple as that. But that would be something that I may not have noticed before. And then as the day went on that day, it seemed like everything kept lining up, and I called a girlfriend. I didn't realize that she had just called me at my home and left a message, and I called her immediately afterwards from a different location. So maybe my abilities when I'm living in the frequencies are expanded to recognize or be more, I don't know, maybe it's psychic. And then there were situations like everywhere I went, parking spots. A car would pull out right when I needed to get in a spot. Walked into the restaurant and with my husband, and it was packed and 2 seats opened up immediately for us. Just things lining up like that and synchronicities like that, multiple. And so that was just something that was really kind of interesting to watch. And I do think it's from being aware and noticing living in the frequencies more. So that's just a couple things that I've noticed. I think the more important one is actually being aware and conscious of my own thoughts and my own actions and my own reactions. That's really a powerful thing, to really go into that space where you can do that. So anyway, that's just a couple of things I wanted to share. Have a great day. Bye.